Good day. This video clip is part of a theme where we discuss how we can reclaim IT for the finance professional. We're going to demonstrate making a significant change in a financial model and show how all parts of the model update. This is a significant issue for finance staff in trying to maintain Excel models. We are addressing the wider problem where skilled finance professionals are spending vast chunks of time maintaining large and inflexible spreadsheet models. Finance professionals use Excel as their tool of choice because of its huge flexibility. But what if you could get very similar control and flexibility yet using a sophisticated budgeting tool? To meet this need, it is vital that you as a finance user can make your own changes easily and without relying on technical support. We're going to show you how we address this using Infor BI. Right, James is going to take us through a simple HR example to illustrate the ease of use.
Thanks, Phil. In this demonstration, I'm going to take a payroll model and add a new global parameter. This parameter will only need to be created once. I'm now going to access the system using the dashboards interface through a simple web browser. I'll now access the HR planning report. Here we have a simple data entry report for HR data. It contains information about positions, headcount, and salary. We also have filters, which allow me to view the same report, viewing only the data I choose. Here I have my existing employees already from last year, but I'm planning for a new role as well. I will add the role of General Manager. I will assign this role a headcount of 12 months and a salary of $100,000. As you can see, the headcount and the salary have both been automatically distributed evenly across all of the months. The calculations of superannuation and long service leave have also automatically been calculated. These calculations are administered from the Global Parameters report. I can also change the parameters across any part of the model.
Presumably you can set these parameters at specific levels, such as if the long service leave was by state, for example.
Exactly. I would just have a drop down or create a matrix in rows and columns with the state and percentage by state. This will then apply that parameter specific to the level needed. From this screen, I can also change how I distribute my headcount and salary across the months. I do this by accessing my data phasing and reallocation screen. In this allocation screen, you have several predefined allocations or ways of distributing values, and in this case we have even distribution, 4-4-5, and seasonal distributions. For this example, I'll be creating a custom allocation. For the new role, I want the pay to increase by 10% for the last 3 months of the year. As such, I'll call this allocation April Increase, and will increase the amounts of April, May, and June by 10%. I select the line, and now on the graph at the top of the screen, we can see that the old values in blue and the new values in orange are shown. Once I'm happy with this, I hit OK, and the allocation method is automatically applied to the salary.
So I can keep the total amount for all months like a target, and it will automatically adjust the underlying values to meet the target I need?
Exactly, Phil. In fact, I will now adjust by entering 110,000 on the total amount, and you'll see all the underlying values adjust accordingly. I'll just point out that the data entry capability is available in any data entry screen or model, such as if I was entering assets depreciation data or entering financial values across cost centres and months. I'm now going to add a completely new global parameter, workers' compensation, and dynamically update all reports and entry screens. I'll complete this task in only 1 minute. In this screen, you can see all the cubes in the system. A cube stores all the data and calculations in a database. It can be a finance or sales cube, for example. Here we have a HR cube, which holds all of the HR data, and an HR parameters cube, which holds all the global HR parameters. Here we have a list of all the dimensions that exist in your organizational model, such as account, employee, period, and so on. Here I'm opening up the HR measures. This shows all the information relating to employees, such as ID, name, and team. It also holds all of the rates, such as super rate, long service leave rate, and I'll add a new rate for workers' compensation. I'll also add somewhere for the workers' compensation calculation to be stored. Once I save my changes, I head back to my cube screen to access my list of formulas. In my list of formulas, I can already see the calculations for long service leave and superannuation, and I will create a new calculation for my workers' compensation. In this screen, we create our formulas without any coding or programming. You simply choose the target, which is where the result of the calculation will be, and define a formula. Our target in this instance will be our workers' compensation. Our formula will now be equal to taking the salary and multiplying it by the workers' compensation rate, which I will take from the HR parameters cube.
So in that screen there, I can take any data field from any cube, say a finance cube, and carry out a calculation against any other data field and store the calculated result?
Exactly.
How about, can I use Excel formula in those functions?
You can, but in reality you only need those complex functions because of the limitations of the spreadsheet model. In Infor.BI, we mainly use the basic arithmetic functions because we don't have those same modelling issues.
That must give huge flexibility to anyone creating models.
It does. In fact, Phil, we typically replace models with between 10 to 20,000 formulae with just 60 or 70 unique calculations stored in a central location. I'll now finish my calculation by adding a description and then saving my changes. Logging back into my global parameters report, I can see that my workers' compensation rate is automatically added to the report without having to change anything. I can set this rate to be 4% and save it. And now accessing my HR report, I can see that not only is the workers' compensation automatically added to the report, it is also calculated based on the rate that I just set.
And does that calculation work for all other departments?
It does, Phil. In fact, if I change to the finance department, we can see that it is automatically applied to that department as well.
Thank you for that, James. Thank you for listening to this video clip on Infor.BI from Professional Advantage. Keep an eye out for other videos we are doing on this for finance professionals in this series, Reclaiming IT for the Finance Professional.